the play sequence because I think he ran 2 pass plays instead of running the ball, centering the ball, and kicking it. Coach Thomas said we were on our second string kicker. He could not make it from that distance. He could not. So we had to pass the ball to try to get it closer to make the second string kicker more comfortable to win it. So please, guys, when you guys kill these coaches, at least go on the coach's call and see what they said. So I got a lot of respect for them. Because people will kill, they don't know what they're doing, and the offensive coordinator is crazy. But does that make sense to you? If your kicker can't kick for 40 yards, what are you going to do, coach?
You got to get more yards.
Okay. Get more yards. And the running game is not going to do it, especially with the time. You got to throw the ball. Now, did it work out? No. But that's what I'm saying. Sometimes these coaches do coach their players. Sometimes these coaches do know their players. So no matter if Alcorn is X, 0, and 4, 5 now, at least give the coach respect that they do get paid to coach.
0 and 5, coach.
0 and 5. So that kind of bothered me because, Coach Thomas, I know he's coaching hard, and, I have no problem with people criticizing him. But for that, sometimes the answer is right there in front of your face. So I will say to everybody, before we go and kill these coaches, listen now. I'm going to say this, and Southern folks remember this. Now, when Dooley said that, and he was like, we ran the ball because FAMU wasn't in the right set, and everybody had the video, was like, no, that's not true. Yeah, then you kill the coach on that. But got to respect Coach Thomas for that.
So Coach Cole, I want to get your because this brings up a point as you guys were talking. We just talked about FAMU a minute ago. We're talking about Alcorn's situation now. What do they have in common? Both programs got rid of their championship coach in the same year.
Well, nobody at FAMU did not get rid of Willie.
No, well, what I'm saying, he left the program. He left the program.
Alcorn did not pay Coach Fred. Now that's the difference. They didn't want to pay him the money.
So Coach, combine these teams are 1-9 after 2 years after they let go of the championship coaches. Historically, this is what happens when teams let go or their championship coach moves on?
Yeah, and that's why it's so important to be able to know as an AD where we are as a program. Or do we need to rebuild? Do we need to reload? Do we need to just replace? And if you make the wrong decision, and when you rebuild, that means you're going to bring a guy in. He don't have a lot of experience. The program is going to sort of kind of grow with him. If you bring in an experienced guy, he'll come in and see where he needs to replace people at. If you hire a guy on the staff, he should already know where things are at and what they need to do. Unfortunately, I think what's happening in Florida A&M, they need to go get an offensive coordinator. You know what I mean? They need a guy that can come in and from Simmons Tree, whether it was from Prairie View when he worked there, from a guy, and they have enough of who they are to say we can go steal somebody. Look, let's get North Carolina Central's coordinator. Let's get to bring them in. So those are things that an athletic director has to think about instead of just, let me just go find a guy, And when you just go find a guy, then you end up 0-5 and 1-4 and all that kind of good stuff.
Well, you got anything you want to add to this, Mr. Campbell?
Listen, Coach said it all. I think one of the ways, and again, there's a way of doing it. Again, Alcorn felt they didn't want to pay Coach McNair the amount of money. Willie left very late in the game, and EA hit it. He said, and he was told he hadn't done anything to deserve right. Yeah, that was OBG that did not want to pay Willie back before the Celebration Bowl in late November, early November. So, credit, just give credit where credit's due, good and bad. One of the things I think with Alcorn, but let's be honest though. Alcorn was trending down anyway. They weren't winning the West. They had kind of was moving. Fred McNair was kind of 7-4, 6-5. It wasn't like they were trending up. Southern was winning. Prairie View was winning. So I think the transition could have, maybe Fred would not have gotten this bad because I think Fred McNair wouldn't have gotten this. But I think Alcorn was not trending up. So I think that was another thing too. They were like, we're not gonna pay you all this money, and we're finished second and third in the West.
Yeah.
Well, I think in Fred McNair's defense, didn't he work a period of time without an AD?
I don't think so.
Well, they had it. Well, I would say this: Alcorn had issues with the president. They did have issues with the AD. Yeah, so it was a lot. It was rough down there.
Okay, and the reason why I bring that up is because Cole, from the very first time we talked, Coach, you've always said these programs got to hold on to their championship coaches because that's what holds the program together. And programs beat players, beat talent all the time, Coach. And so I just wanted to get your take on that. Because a lot of times when the coach goes away, the program goes away as well. And we see that on all levels of football, from the pros all the way down to high school. So, but here's another good game we had last week. Now, I thought this game would be a little more competitive than it was. If you were to tell me when we interviewed Coach Shea that he would give up almost 60 points to Jackson State and then almost over 40 points to Bethune-Cookman in consecutive weeks, I wouldn't have believed it. That guy has a stern defensive mentality as a coach, but I don't know what's happening over in Huntsville, but they can't stop a nosebleed right now.
Well, they got a leak in a secondary. They got some young secondary people. They're getting beat deep a whole lot. It's the Achilles heel of coming in as a first-year coach, trying to instill your philosophy, because we all know that Coach Shade is a defensive guy. You know what I mean? They're a run guy and they're a defensive guy. And so what's happening is not only are they getting hurt in their secondary, on the offensive side of the ball, you can't have that run first down, second down. You got to be more explosive. I just sent a text over to my some of my former players over at Tennessee State. I said, you guys are not going to win averaging 13 to 16 points a game over there with the whites. You just, in the FCS, you got to score points. You got to score points. The nation average is 24. You got to be somewhere there. You got to be good on third down. You know what I mean? If you're not good on third down, you're going to lose football games. You got to be able to establish some balance in your offense. If you're not a good passing team, then run the ball. Well, with run the ball, what are the passes when you're a good run team? You got your draws, you got your play action, you got your bootleg stuff. If you're not doing that stuff, then you're not being successful. If you're great at throwing the football, then you got to get your screen game going. Why? Because those defensive ends going to pin their ears back and try to get to the quarterback. So your screen game, your tunnel screens on the outside, your inside mid screens, and then also you got to be able that every now and then when you're a great run team, you got to be able to line up and double tight and get them 1 or 2 yards. So if you ain't doing those things, you ain't winning football games. And I think that's one of the biggest things with Alabama A&M is I know Coach Shea's philosophy, but when you got a defense that's giving up points, you got to be able to open that offense up and get you a couple yourself.
Yeah, this game right here was interesting, meaning that they didn't have any answer for Jackson State, and it seemed like whoever they went to, whoever they threw to, whatever they ran, worked. Coach, it almost looked like a scrimmage, Coach.
30 first downs.
Yeah.
It looked more like a Division 1A team is playing some Division 2 team.
Yeah.
So they got a lot of work to do over there.
Now I did see in this game where Jackson State, once their backups got in, they were able to move the ball or whatever, but still, Sam Shade's team not being able to do nothing on the ground was surprising.
7 yards of total offense, Coach. Jeez.
Yeah. Campbell, as a Jacksonian, you know the temperature, probably know the temperature of what the fan base feels like going into this next week against Alabama State after playing Alabama A&M. What does this game do for the confidence and the morale of the fan base?
You know, Rocky, I'm gonna tell you what was funny. But wait a minute, hold on one second. Hold on one second.
And let me give Jacoby Morgan his props. Hey,
Rocky, wait a minute. Hold on, Rocky. Hold on. Wait a minute. Rocky, hold on. That's my phone. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me answer this. Hello? You want me to tell Rocky what? And tell him to watch on Saturday too? I got you. Rocky, that was Jacoby Morgan just called? He said watch on Saturday. That's what he just told me to tell you. He said the average quarterback said he's watching the show, and he told me to tell you thank you for letting him know to keep motivated every week, and he put up the 301. So just want to let you know that was Jacoby Morgan. You know, I know folks, Rocky. I know folks.
Yeah, well, hey, again, in this game, he was exceptional. He was 21 for 30 for 314 and 4 touchdowns. Again, man, I can't say enough about how well he played, how efficient he was. He also was 12 for 120 on the ground. Sensational game, and it was against a Division I opponent. So I can't say it wasn't. I don't know if it was a Division I defense, but it wasn't a Division I team. So again, shout out to Jacoby Morgan. If I can criticize him when he struggles or call him average when he's average, I certainly can praise the young man when he plays well, and he definitely played well this past weekend. Yeah, my wife was like, who is this number 15? Because she's an Alabama A&M alumna. Who is this number 15? And I'm like, she like, is he going to the pros? I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm glad you don't scout. So anyway, yeah, she was really, I don't know if she was rubbing it in or she didn't know. I don't know what she was doing, but she literally called me and asked me, who is this guy? And is he good enough to go to the pros? And I'm like, why are you calling me about Jackson State's quarterback? Because she's talking about he ain't missing nothing. Anyway, but with that being said, Jacoby, shout out to you, brother. What was your thought? What were you guys' thoughts other than?
Well, let me say, I want to talk about the Sam Shade thing. And this is, you know what? This is how good a coach Sam Shade is. We got expectations for him already in year one. He doesn't have his guys. He's rebuilding the program. He's sitting at 3-3. He got, and he'll probably tell you, we won't say it, you know, he has respect, but he probably felt that they let that game against Bethune-Cookman get away. So they could have been 4-2. So I think they're right on schedule where they want to be at. I think that coach knows what he's going to do. I think they're going to recruit heavy, and I think he's going to get their guys in. And I think when you look at Alabama A&M and what they're going to be doing for us with A.D. Bryant and stuff like that, they're going to move and shake. But like I say, Jackson State, man, I think they got their gears going. And I'm going to be honest with you with Coach T.C. Taylor. I think T.C. Taylor was playing possum with you guys the first part of the season. As they say, don't show everybody what they got. But have you seen the last couple of games, all of a sudden you see a Savage play. Fortillian's out. But you see Remper, you see the other guys, Paul and these wide receivers, you see these running backs, you see the defense. You're starting to see plays that they didn't run in the first part of the season. So now I think they've got those guys locked and loaded. Of course, we'll talk about the Alabama State game. But I think, look, TC, my guy, who caught 205 yards for 14 receptions in that Robert Kent and Darnell Kennedy game, I think he's ready to go.
Hey, let me ask you this, Campbell and Coach. The talent disparity that I saw on Saturday reminds me somewhat of the Dion era of Jackson State, right? Between Alabama A&M and Jackson State. Did you guys also see that too, or was that just my eyes playing tricks on me when I was watching the game? Well,
there's no doubt Jackson State's a much talented team. It's not. See, usually, even last year with FAMU, it was talent, but it was coaching. You could see the talent, and it wasn't because, like I said again, FAMU played them to a dead heat until the 5 minutes left in the game. But this year, you can just see. And let me tell you something about what Coach Taylor did. And he talked about this. If you look at Jack State's recruiting, he has the same philosophy. He got guys, and I'm gonna keep saying this: guys that want to be Tigers. There's a difference between a guy that wants to play football. He got guys that want to be at Jackson State. They're going to be at Jackson State. And the first thing he did, if you go look at his recruiting, he got that offensive line. He got all those young guys that were able to play, got their head knocked that first year. Now, all those guys are sophomores and juniors, and they've been there. You got a lot of guys from Texas, a lot of guys from Georgia. And that whole offensive line is eating. He's got guys that want to be at Jackson State, and he did not go get 40, 50 guys in the portal. He got certain guys, like the DN from Florida, this guy, Nate Remmer from Valley, guys that fit what they want to do. And that's the way you got to coach. And that's why they're so much better than everybody else.
What did you see, Coach Cole?
Alabama State, man, is.
You mean Alabama A&M?
Oh, yo, man, we still talking about A&M. It was a blowout.
All right, Coach.
It was a blowout.
I will move on.
Yeah, by the best team in the league.
All right. Alabama State and Bethune-Cookman. Now, I'm going to tell you about this game. This game was never in question. It was never a threat. But it really got on my nerves for Coach Woody to play his starters the whole game when they were clearly blew out and out of the game. Like, he was like, at what point, Coach, when you down 52-21, at some point shouldn't you just get the game over?
Why?
Well, you ready for me to put you in his frame of mind?
Yeah,
please, because I know what you're about to say, because I'm about to agree 100% with you.
He know he's done, Coach. He got to make – the only thing he got left is to put up enough points to make some people excited to say, man, we coming. We coming. Now you're not coming. You're leaving your guys in there. You keep throwing bombs, to score, to make it feel good. Those are feel-good points. You know what I mean? To make it look like we're getting where we're supposed to be at. But by then, if you know Division I AA football, it's a big drop-off from your firsts to your seconds. So when those teams blow him out and they put their seconds in, then here he come. Man, we almost – guess what the fans were saying when they left there? Boy, we almost beat them. Just a little more time. That's what that is.
What you got to say, Mr. Campbell?
I mean, I'm going to agree with Coach, but I think also, too, to your point, I think he knows he wants to keep his players playing because he's figuring there's a couple of games that maybe he can pick off and finish 500 in the back where he wants to just keep playing those guys. And so I'm with Coach on that. Hey, I think this game was never in doubt. Alabama State knew it, but which will break down the Jack State-Alabama State game. But again, that Alabama State defense still is not the same. It's not the same.
He feel himself at the end of the rope, and he don't tie the knot, baby.
He getting drugged in, Coach. He getting drugged.
He holding on, Coach. Unfortunately, you know what I mean?
Hey, this game right here looked like a game of the big guys against the little guys, Coach. Texas Southern smashed Arkansas Pine Bluff after they got a big victory against Alcorn.
Here's what I don't understand when I'm facing Texas Southern, my alma mater. Do you think I'm going to kick to them, Campbell? I ain't going to never kick to them. They got two explosive kids out there, man, that can get it done on the special team. I'm not kicking the ball to them. When I was watching Valley, they kept kicking it. I'm going to kick it out of bounds. I'd rather give them 15 yards on it than a guy can bust it. They got two guys, man, that can do it. Do you hear what I'm saying? That they can do it. And they average a whole bunch of yards on kick return and punt return. So I'm not kicking to them. Texas Southern's offense have proven that they can't drive 80 yards consistently. They can't do it. Texas Southern right now is a big play offense.
Coach, they ran the ball for 350 yards, Coach.
Yep. It seems like everybody got it.
Hey.
They could have put me back there with my bad knee. I'd have got 10 on the first round.
Hey, Coach. But, hey, it seems like from here on out, Coach, it's SWAC football all the way. And this has been the biggest weekend. This past week was the biggest weekend before. This is the biggest weekend now. This weekend right here.
Well, let's go determine who's going to be in the championship. We already know it's Prairie View. And whoever wins this game is going to be in the championship.
Whoa, Coach, hold on now. Wait a minute. We already know what?
Yeah, this week is going to be who the two teams going to play in the championship.
I'm going to tell you this, and people know this, but, Coach, I'm going to tell you this. The people that they still have to play,
when you say
Southern has to play, Southern is sitting right there in their hip. So I'm just telling you, Southern has done it before. So I don't know. Okay, I'm just saying before we throw that out there.
I'm throwing it out there. I'm throwing it out there.
No.
Prairie View A&M will represent. I said that 2 weeks ago. They will.
Yeah, you did. You did.
They will, and Texas Southern is gonna help them because they're gonna upset some people. Watch this week. Texas Southern play, don't they?
No, Texas Southern and Grambling.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, watch this week.
So let's look at this game right here, Coach. Texas Southern and Grambling. Mickey Joseph is your protege. He's putting together a pretty respectable season so far, even though he lost to Prairie View in the State Fair Classic. Can Grambling get a victory against Texas Southern?
I think they can. I think they match up with Texas Southern very well. If you slow Texas Southern's run game down, because that's what they want to do, don't give them no big plays on special teams, you got a shot at winning.
Coach, I'm going to let you know, Coach, I'm taking Texas Southern in this game. Who you got, Campbell?
I'm going to say it's Grambling's homecoming. I saw all my beautiful young ladies that used to wear eye weave looking all pretty, all grown now. The whole going to be rocking, man. Listen, I think the spirit of Grambling is going to stand up. I think this is one of those games that Grambling is going to stand up. Because Texas, I'm sorry, Coach, I'm with you. They're so schizophrenic to me. They can score 50 like they did and turn around and score 14 this week. Yeah. That's my own thing. The level of inconsistency that I do not understand from Texas. So when you see the makings of a team that really can make a run, but the level of inconsistency. So, you know what? So I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to go with my folks down. I'm going to go Graham fam, and I'm going to go with my girls, the Orkeeses down there.
Hey, Coach, are you going to pick this one? I know both of these, Mickey's really close to you. This is your alma mater. Are you going to abstain from picking this one, or are you going to go ahead and give us a pick?
I'm going to go Texas Southern in a close one. I'm going to go with the Bishop.
Hey, Coach, let me ask you a question before we jump. What do you think the keys are the game for this game? Because this, to your point, is a very important game in the West. What are the keys? What does Texas – I tell you what, real quick. What does Texas Southern have to do to win this game, and what does Grambling have to do to win this game?
Texas Southern has to be good on third down. They got to mix it up more of just handing the ball off. They need to pick that big wide, that quarterback on the sprint out. Let him run some. Let him, because they want to get first downs. That's what they should use. And that kid is exceptionally when he breaks out there. Continue to be great on special teams. Make sure they got short fields. Grambling, they got to stop the run. Make Texas Southern throw the football. And do not kick to those guys back in the backfield. If you punt that damn out of bounds. If you kick off, kick it down the goddamn field. But do not give Texas Southern opportunities to get short fields or one of those exceptional returners to break one.
Hey, Coach, I believe Grambling has 7 games left, and Mickey needs 5 wins. at what point does the pressure of that start weighing on the?
You trying to give him 8 instead of 7, huh?
Well, doesn't he need to win 8 to get the automatic?
Yeah, replacement. Yeah, I think that is in the contract.
To get that third year, he has to have eight victories, correct?
Correct.
And so what I'm saying, at what point does that start weighing on putting extra pressure on the coaching staff?
Well, of course, you got to beat the people you're supposed to beat. He's supposed to beat Texas Southern. And we'll see. It was pressure. It would have been pressure for me out the gate. You know what I'm saying? When I was 0-0.
Yeah. We already talked about this game right here. Now, this is interesting right here, this game right here for some of you guys. This Southern Bethune-Cookman game. Because I see a game that Southern can actually come in and dominate this game. But I also see a situation where Bethune-Cookman is able to exploit Southern as well. What do you guys see?
This is one of those things where Southern, again, and this is why I don't understand. When you got a back like Trey Holly, you got to give him 20, 25 carries in this game. Because if you give him 20, 25 carries, and shout out to Bishop Bond and them, we're talking about this. Coach, and you know this. That's when that 19 to 25th carry wears down, and he breaks one to close the game out. Southern has got to give the guy the ball. Bethune-Cookman's going to come out. I think the defense is not strong. Again, Southern's strength is Bethune-Cookman's weakness, and vice versa. So I think one of those things that I think Southern, if they're going to try to make a march, because I think Southern still believe they can win the West. That's their opinion. I believe that they believe that. They have to win this game. It starts with this game right here. So I tell you what, I'm going to take Southern. I guess my better judgment, I think that Southern is going to come in there and win this game.
Go ahead, Coach, because I got something I want to add as well.
Hey, one of the things, man, for this game is you're right, Coach Bishop. You're right. See, the thing of it is when you coordinate an offense, you got to know who's my playmakers. All right, who's the guys that's gonna make plays? I used to have a count up in the box of are we getting the ball to our playmaker guys? You know what I mean? Because they the guys that's gonna win the game for you. You don't want to come out of the game and you don't give the ball to somebody that's just an average guy. You know what I mean? They got one of the best backs in the conference, maybe in FCS football. You know what I mean? And they don't give him the ball much. They should be doing everything with him, throwing him screen plays, screen in the middle, off tackle power, sweep. Put the ball in his hand. And then what are you establishing? You're establishing what we're good at, what people got to prepare for, and then go to what you think that we're good at. Southern has to do that. They play good enough defense not to be 1-5. A lot of their problems and issues is that they got to drive the ball. They don't have no short fields. The defense got to turn the ball over, get offensive short fields, and on the offensive side of the ball, they got to get the ball to that tailback. Simple. It's simple. And I guarantee you, if they listen to us and that boy get the ball 15 to 20 times this weekend, they'll win that game. And
Coach, let me ask you a question, because this has been the arguments that Southern people have said in respect to Southern people, and EA brought it up. So what they said when he came over from LSU, just jumped right into Southern, they said he wasn't in game shape. Coach, how long does it take for a football player to get in game shape? They're about to be in their 6th game.
Coach, we in mid-season, Coach. You should be on cruise control now. We don't have the whole month of August, all of September, and now we in October. Shit, run him after practice. If you got there late after practice, just run him on some sprints. You know what I mean? To get him ready. They got to make a commitment to this kid. And until they make a commitment to this kid, they're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, so I'm with you on the first month, but guys, we're in October. He's been practicing every day, you know what I mean?
And playing.
So that's why I'm saying so that's what I'm saying, guys. This is the HBCU Coaches Corner. We don't do them lazy narratives over here. You know what I'm saying? Now, them other folks, he's out of shape, We don't do the. Come on, man. This is like I said, it's a 6th game of the year. That kid is ready to go. Yeah, I tell you what, if he's not ready to go, then he shouldn't be playing.
Yeah, this kid is a big timer. He knows what he's supposed to do. He knows what he got to do to get himself in shape. Hey, man, you know, I hate to say it, man. That's coaching, man. You got to get this kid ready to play and get this kid to football.
But
I'll say this. I'll say this about Southern, and this is something I would not have said 3 weeks ago, but I'll say it now. If they can navigate these three games right here, right, and get victories, it changes the whole.
Who said this? I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah. If they can navigate these 3 games right here, they're on course to be the West champ.
Who is that?
Southern. They have Bethune, Prairie View, FAMU. If they somehow can navigate that, go unscathed in those 3 games, then the next 4 games, they'll be favored in every game. This may be a push right here with Texas Southern, but they'll be favored in all these other games. And you have to realize
this is why those cross matchups mean so much, because Prairie View's got to play Alabama State, and Alabama. See, this is the thing about in the East, nobody can take. You got to win every game. So Alabama State is going to play. Prairie View's got to play them. Alabama A&M is not going to be no easy knockout because they can score. So I'm just saying, you know, they can easily lose those. If they lose that, that's 3 losses right there.
Prairie View only got 1 tough game left, and that's Alabama State.
I think the Southern game can be challenging as well, Coach. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you.
I would agree with you. I would agree with you.
So that's what I'm saying. But I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Southern would be invincible in those games, but if they navigate these 3, because again, let's be honest. When the season came about, we thought this game would be a gimme. We thought this game would be a Prairie View victory, but we also thought FAMU would be head and shoulders better than Southern, and that's not the case, Coach. That's not the case.
I agree.
They're gonna get Southern is gonna go into that game regardless of what happens here. They're gonna go into this game thinking they can break the streak.
Oh, listen, bro. Listen, when you have been beaten by teams like that, like listen, bro. And I'm gonna say this to talk about a streak. I was there listening to the relief of the Alabama State coaches and the players. We finally beat these guys. I saw it, and I was amazed how important it meant to them. You don't think Southern's thinking the same thing? We've been killing Southern. There's no doubt. And FAMU's down, man, everybody go try to get their licks on FAMU this year.
All right, Coach, we're going to move on to do we have to talk about this Alcorn game?
Go down. What is Southern's record?
1-4, 0-1 in SWAC.
Okay. They are.
But they've played what? 3 SWAC games, 2 SWAC.
They have played all the best teams in the HBCU football. They played Central and lost, Jackson State and lost, and Alabama State and lost. Come on, Coach. Anybody will probably go 0-3 against those games. Hell, FAMU's about to do it.
Yeah.
Well, what Southern supposed to be one of those teams, so they couldn't be one of those?
Well, Coach, let's look at this, Coach. The teams that they lost to, I think everybody in the conference loses to.
I predicted this record that this was going to happen. I said Southern was going to be a back-end team. Exactly how they called this, they were not beating Jackson State, they were not beating Central, they were not beating Alabama State. We called that, Coach, and we predicted it.
Now let me say this, Coach. This is a crucial game for Southern right here. This is a critical game. They traveled to Daytona, Coach. And you can say what you want to say, but Bethune-Cookman can light it up, Coach.
Look, say what you want. Being 0-1 in the conference and only winning 1 game in the middle of the season, every game is important. Every game. They coming out the hole. They digging up out the hole, man.
Well, what I'm saying is, I believe Southern would be a much better team if they can start some momentum. And they got Bethune, they got PV, because I believe Southern is. I'm gonna be honest with you. I believe Southern is more talented than Prairie View. When I look at those teams, I believe Southern is more talented.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but coach, Southern's more talented, but Prairie View is coached way better.
I wasn't gonna say that.
Well, I'm gonna say it. They ain't coming on the show anyway. So
all right, guys, we're gonna move to the Alcorn Lincoln game. Do we have to discuss this? And I'll just say this: is this game coming at the right time for Coach Thomas?
Let me say something, Rocky. This was interesting because somebody said that Lincoln had canceled their last 2 games. What will be this is Alcorn's homecoming. Correct me for my people in the chat. I think this is Alcorn's homecoming. Is that not correct? What if Lincoln doesn't show up for Alcorn's homecoming? What would that be?
Well, you would hear something about
it. They move it to the next week, wouldn't it?
No, how they gonna move Alcorn to the next week?
Well, they would move it to the next home game.
Homecoming? Oh, because they would cancel it and they say we're not going, and then we'll move. Okay, I got you. Okay, I understand now. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Hey, Dino said they not gonna win the conference. I'm gonna say, man, I'm gonna give him shooting my address and tell him to send me a case of Michelob Modelo.
Ultra Modelo, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Now this is let me ask you this, Coach. Is this where Mississippi Valley gets on the board right here?
Against Alabama A&M? Whoo, Coach. That's gonna be one there now. That's gonna be one there because Alabama A&M, man, they ain't stopped nobody.
And this is their homecoming.
And Valley has a nice offense, man. They have a nice offense. They do some good things, man. Because they beat Texas Southern them down the field till the last third quarter. Texas Southern kind of came out a little better, but they beat them up and down the field for 3 quarters. So I don't count Mississippi Valley out now.
I know the Fighting T-Bucks need a victory, but I'm gonna take shade on this one. I'm gonna take Coach Shade on this one.
I got you.
Who you got, Coach?
Listen, I think what Terrell Buckley has shown in his first year with the very limited resources in Mississippi Valley that those guys can coach. I think there's some things that they got to learn for as game time situations and a couple of things that he talked about that. But I think he's got those guys motivated to play. With that being said, Alabama A&M clearly has talent. There's no doubt about it, and especially on the offensive side of the ball. And that being homecoming, I think Coach Shade, like I say, is going to reset his team after the Jack State game. And again, this is a big thing because Alabama A&M, they're doing a lot of things down there for this homecoming, from my understanding, that they haven't done before. So it's going to be a showcase for Sam Shade and the team. So I think Alabama A&M definitely is going to win it.
What about you, Coach? Who you got?
Whew. Man, that's a tough one, Coach. I lost faith in A&M, man. They kind of shut it down. I don't know. This Brown kid is really, really hurt the quarterback, huh?
No. He back. He threw for 350 last week.
Well, I'm gonna go with Valley. I'm gonna go with A&M.
Okay. All right. Well, this is the big game, Coach. This is the last one. This is the big game. This is probably the biggest game of the season. This game features.
On a count of 3, if you at home with me. 1, 2, 3. Everybody, stop playing with that man.
That features Andrew Body and mighty Jackson State, the boogeyman of the SWAC. Coach, I'll go first on this one, and I'm going with my heart. I'm going with Andrew Body and Bama State.
Campbell?
No, let me go last. I'm from Jack. You go.
It's going to be a tough one, Coach. It's going to be a tough one. Everybody has been, if you looked at Body stats, everybody has been looking to make him sit in the pocket. or tackle or make sure that he don't get loose. Looking at Jackson State's defense, they pretty stifled. They like to bring a lot of pressure. That means that a body can escape. My more thing is can Alabama State's offense stop their defense? I got Jackson State real close on this one.
That's interesting. What about you, Campbell?
Rocky, Alabama State. You know they got the #1 scoring offense in the SWAC. Did you know that?
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that Andrew Body is not only leading in passing, he's the leading rusher in the SWAC? Did you know that, Rocky? Did you know?
No, I didn't know that.
How about that? Did you understand they have one of the leading receivers in the conference, Jones? Do you understand that Eddie Robinson has actually beaten Jack State on their homecoming last time they played? Do you believe that? But it don't matter. Because you know why it don't matter? It don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter. Because when you hear this, Rocky, right here, listen. When you listen, Rocky, what you listen? When you hear this? When you hear this, Rocky? You hear this?
I'm glad I don't hear it.
Hold on. Wait, hold on.
Share your screen. Share your screen.
Hold on. Yeah,
the sonic boom, man. The sonic boom.
Listen, Rocky. Listen. I want you to listen to this. So this is Jackson, Mississippi, man. There's no playing around, Rocky. I want you to understand this right now. This is Jackson, Mississippi. There's none of this foolishness that's going to happen with Alabama State coming in. Listen, Rocky, what you hear this? When you hear this right here, you hear that, Rocky?
Hold on. Let me take this down and add this.
You hear that, Rocky? Let's go get ready.
What is that?
You hear that, Rocky? That's the boom.
That's the Temptations, ain't it?
That's the sonic boom of the South, Rocky. Almost Jackson, Mississippi. We know what this game means. So I'm telling you, 100 people in my family went to Jackson State. Granddaddy graduated in 1930. There's no way in the world I'm going to pick against them JSU Tigers. No way in the world, Rocky. No way in the world. So when that get ready to get fired up, understand that Jackson State is going to win this game 100%.
Yeah, man, this is a game that you don't have to hype up. Now, let me ask you this here. This game was originally scheduled to be on ESPN Plus. They have moved it to ESPNU. In Jackson State, will it affect attendance because the game was moved to ESPNU?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because this is one of those games that Jackson State, see, I'm going to tell you something about Jackson State people. People keep missing one thing. Jackson State people are football fans first. They love the boom, but they football fans first. They know this is a football game. This is what Jackson State and that vet lives for these big-time games. Again, we had Darnell Kennedy, homecoming, big-time game. It was probably 40,000 people in that stadium in that game when him and Kent went crazy. These people that are sophisticated, that knows the history between these two teams, you're talking about Houston Marker, who left Jackson State, went to Alabama State, came back and beat them for a national champion. You're talking about Darnell Kennedy and Coach Cole and them.
Oh, man. Oh, man, he going to have to join back. My bad.
He went off on you, Coach?
No, that was me. He going to have to join back. I was trying to take the screen down, and I took him down. My bad.
All right, well, good. We already know he did. Let's keep going.
That was me, Campbell. My bad. I'm sorry. Go ahead and finish giving your
see, Jackson people, you see what he did? He wants to cut off what is inevitable. But that's okay. That's okay. But let's talk about a couple of things on a serious tip.
Okay.
Well, I think Jackson State's going to win this game. Eddie Robinson, we talked to Coach Robinson. The question I asked, I said, Coach, this is the first time that your offense will be leading the way. Alabama State,
he's back yet, Coach?
Yeah, he's back. He's back.
So you're talking about his offensive line that he's groomed up, walk-ons, all conference. But here's the thing, what I talked about earlier. What has T.C. Taylor done that has been great? He has built that offensive line. He has Jacoby Morgan, who's been in that system for 3 years, that understands what they're trying to do. Jackson State not going to get outside themselves. Now, all of a sudden, you see Savage starting to make plays or things like that. Now you're starting to see that. So the problem is, if this was an Alabama State defense the last 2-3 years, then you know what, Rocky? I might have to go with you. But it's not the same Alabama State defense. And I'm going to tell you something, 2 o'clock in that Jackson, Mississippi heat, and those guys going up and down that field, that's when that running game, what we talk about, that running game starts to take over, and then you start seeing in the fourth quarter. And I think that's when Jackson State pulls away.
You're the expert, Coach Cole. How do you see it?
I told you, man, look, it's going to be tough beating Jackson State at Jackson State, but, you know, Alabama A&M been real good, man. And every time I've went up against a great quarterback, we beat them. We beat Steve McNair. We beat I've seen Willie Todden get beat. You know, it ain't about the quarterback, it's about the team. And I think Jackson State and TC Taylor, I think they got a lot more experienced guys. I don't think Alabama A&M gonna slow them down. I mean, Alabama State is gonna slow them down.
Yeah, Coach. You know, last week, Coach, Jackson State impressed me to the point where it just looked like men among boys last week. Like they looked like they were able to do anything they wanted to. And this was after just watching Andrew Body. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I can see where Andrew has a tough night. If Andrew plays, like you said, similar to Darnell Kennedy, Steve McNair, he'll have a chance. But I don't know if he'll win the game, but he'll definitely have a chance. But he has to play that well, in my opinion, for them to have a chance to win, and they still could lose. So I'm gonna take Andrew Body in this game because I believe he's a bad man from Texas.
Here's the best thing against when I face great quarterbacks. The best defense is the offense. Is to keep him off the field. He can't do nothing over on that sideline. Make sure his stints over there is long. You know, where he get cold and he's looking at the defense and he gets frustrated. That's what Jackson State gonna have to do. Keep Andrew Body off the football field.
Let me ask you this here, Coach. With a guy like Jacoby Morgan, who has struggled in big moments, right? Like last year's SWAC championship, do you just try to shut down Jackson State's offensive line? I mean, Jackson State's running game and put the game in the hands of Jacoby Morgan?
Well, I mean, he's seasoned. Jacoby Morgan is seasoned. Hell, he's sending all these notes to you. He's seasoned. So if that running game ain't going well, he's going to have to be able to put that team on his back. I just don't think that Alabama State, when you start looking at personnel, you know, they got a young defensive coordinator. You know, he's been around, but this is his first year. You know, that could be the telltale of this football game. I think a lot of pressure's more on him as the new defensive coordinator at Alabama State than anybody else that's walking into this game. Because he's got to stop a prolific offense.
Okay, you say he doesn't struggle in big games. Is the SWAC championship a big game, Paris? Was the first half of the SWAC game a big game? SWAC championship? So I'm just gonna leave that right there. But my point is, and I'm gonna ask you, Mr. Campbell, since you're a Jacksonian, in your opinion, you've seen Jacoby Morgan quite a bit. If, and this is a big if, Alabama State can contain the Jackson State running attack, and the game is put on the back of Jacoby Morgan and those wide receivers, can Jackson State win the game?
Well, absolutely, because you got to understand, Jacoby Morgan been in that system for 3 years. This kind of what we talked about with Darnell Kennedy and Eugene and Bruce Eugene. He knows the system. He's not going to flinch. He's not going to be like, I'm going to tell you the only way Alabama State, and this is the game, if Alabama State wants to win this game, there is a blueprint for it. Go watch the Grambling game. The Grambling game is the blueprint to beat Jackson State in this type of game. Turn them over, score a bunch of points, and hope you get that last turnover. That's the way you got to beat them. But if I'm thinking Jacoby, let's just to your point, Jackson State is down 5, 4, whatever. They need a touchdown, not a field goal. And they got 5 minutes left. Yeah, I think there's no problem they're going to execute on that offense because they got the playmakers on the outside. And you got to understand, so see, Rocky, the problem with this is if Alabama State had the defense that Eddie Robinson wanted, then, yeah, I would agree with you. But this is not a good defense for Alabama State. It's not.
Again, okay. I agree with you. People don't. Okay, you asked me, did I watch the Celebration Bowl? Yes, I watched the Celebration Bowl. South Carolina State scored 7 points. What pressure was on Jacoby Morgan having to score 8 points? Come on now. What I'm saying is, in a game where he's required to put up points, I'm talking 25, 26, 27 points. Can he do it if it's all on his back? He's not proven that he could do that in that kind of game. He's went into every game with the best offensive line, the best running backs, and the best set of wide receivers. He's had a privilege as a quarterback. When you talk about the SWAC championship, you say he got hurt in the game. Did he come into the game hurt? Because he struggled from the first snap. Did he come into the game hurt? Because up until Zai came in, it looked like Southern definitely had a chance to win that game. And then Mr. McDonald did some special things to propel you guys into victory. And let's not overlook that. What was the score? 6-3, 6-6 when Zai came in the game? Something like that. I can't remember what it was. And that was the drive right before the first half was over. So let's not act like that didn't happen, because it did. And I'm done.
Well, I mean, you made some good points, but like I said, the first one is this game is going to be new to is Alabama State's defensive coordinator. We'll see how he gonna do. I mean, he's playing against a high-powered offense. Jackson State coming in there with all their people. They're playing at home. They got a lot of things that they make them favorite. So we'll see. Definitely, it's a big-time game. And if you're somewhere close, I would advise you to go.
Yeah.
Rocky, let me ask you a question. If we get the tail of the tape, quarterback advantage, Alabama State or Jackson State?
Alabama State.
Running backs, Alabama State or Jackson State?
Push.
Offensive.
If you say offensive line, I'm going to say Jackson State.
Offensive line, we all faded out, so I didn't hear your answer. Offensive line.
Jackson State.
Okay. Now, flip it on the side. Defensive line.
Jackson State.
Linebackers.
I'll even say that Jackson State.
Defensive backs.
I'll say push, but for argument's sake, I'll say I'll say push.
And the coaching, what do you say?
I mean TC. I got to give TC there.
So listen to what you just said. Coaching and defense, and coach, would you not agree, most likely win championships? You just gave them the coaching advantage, and we're not saying that Eddie Robinson's not a great coach, but just from what we see, and the defense, Jackson has a better defense. There's your game right there, Rocky. There's your game right there. You just said what the game is.
Well, it don't always go that way, but I get you. You're right.
Yeah. I understand. On paper, I'll even go into this. Going into this battle on paper, Jackson State is the overwhelming favorite. I'm not saying if it was a boxing match, it should be a knockout or the game would be stopped. But definitely it's a situation where all the indicators point to Jackson State winning this game. Or if it was a boxing match, it would go to Jackson State at the very least getting the decision, possibly a knockout.
Right.
But it ain't played on paper.
But you know what? But you know what I do want though, just as a fan, because Jacoby Morgan's not this type of player. He can put up numbers, but I'm talking about excitement. I do want Andrew Body to have a Steve McNair type game. where people are like, did he just do that? I want to have 2 or 3 of these moments in that game with Andrew where did he just escape and then go 70 yards?
Now,
did he almost get knocked down and throw a 50-yard bomb? I want that type of game because I think, again, we need that type of game for TV. So I do hope that happens.
Now, Coach, let me ask you this. Were you coaching on that Southern team that beat Steve McNair on ESPN?
No, we lost to him. We beat him his first year, but we lost to him when he broke the record. He broke the all-time total yard record. He rushed for some yards against us.
Okay. Yeah. I saw him lose. I forget who beat him on ESPN. It was one of the – was it Jackson State who beat him?
He beat Jackson. I know he beat Jackson State the senior because I was at that game. I don't know about the junior year, Coach.
Yeah.
And I think he lost to Jackson sophomore year.
Okay.
He definitely beat him. He definitely beat him in the vet because that game was crazy. They had to go to Alcorn with the home team at that game. That was the first time I had ever seen that.
Did he beat Grambling that year? He didn't beat Grambling?
Yeah, we beat him at home his junior year, and we went to Alcorn at Southern. We lost to him.
Okay.
But he set all the NCAA records that day.
Well, yeah, I'm now again. I'm with Andrew. I believe in Andrew, and it's going to take a Herculean effort from the time he gets off the bus on Saturday till the last whistle. So, shout out to Andrew, man, and Alabama State. I think they got a puncher's chance. I think they got a chance because they got Andrew. That's what I believe.
Now, that's what I'm saying. If he has a Steve McNair type game where people are shaking their heads and stuff like that, absolutely. But I think that's the type of game. I think he's not. I don't think Alabama State where he's going to do 150 and 60 yards on the ground. You know what I'm saying? And they ran for 280. I don't believe that. I believe he's going to have to go close to 275 and 90 minimum.
Absolutely. Hey, Coach, it's about that time, Coach. We almost to 3 hours. We're not taking any calls tonight. We're going to let you take us out of here, Coach, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I was just letting them know who they want on the show. Let's make sure we try to make sure we get them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But, hey, man, appreciate another great show. Another great young man that played in this conference that have made a lot of people happy. I enjoyed the show. I worked with 2 guys, man, I can't say enough about. I think they think the world of them. We just trying to come in your living room, and make sure that we talk the real talk, make sure that we give you all the secrets of what's going on in our conference. And I always thank you for continuing to follow us, subscribe to us, share those things, man. We want to try to blow this thing up. So we actually want to be at those places instead of being in 3 different places. But again, thank you, man. This is a beautiful world. America is still great, man. And like I always say, if you feel yourself at the end of the rope, tie a knot and hold on tight, because ain't nobody.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.